Florida. It's GamePro's Power Up! Tear into the tips, techniques, and tactics you need to conquer the toughest Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis carts around. Swing into a behind-the-scenes search for the eternal champions of sports with the man they call Mad Dog. We'll blast off into cyberspace, battle a galaxy of intergalactic goons, and power up with explosive tips for Universal Soldiers, Jurassic Park, Alien 3, Star Fox, Battletoads and Battlemania, and Road Rash 2. All this plus killer coasters, hungry hippos, and towering tidal waves. Coming up on GamePro's Power Up.
They call it Kumba, a crushing corkscrew of a roller coaster. 360 degrees of spiral, a 108-foot vertical loop, 2 minutes and 54 seconds of blood-pumping action. Hi, Skyjacker here for another edition of GamePro's Power Up, coming to you on location from Busch Gardens in Tampa, Florida. And in just a few minutes, we're going to take on this ruthless roller coaster, guaranteed to destroy even the most fearless among us. But first, let's get down to some business and show you how to conquer your favorite Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games. We've got a mega arsenal of tips, tactics, secret codes, you name it. We'll give you a top 10 video rental countdown, tease you with some trivia, and we'll show you some master video artists in action. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. Non-stop fist-fighting action, then you'll love Sega's new knockout fighting game, Eternal Champions. But before we check out these karate-chopping champs, let's go in search of some eternal champions of sports. And here's a guy that knows all about them, the guy they call Mad Dog.
Mad Dog with you. Phillies and Blue Jays. Game 1 tomorrow is at 8:29 first pitch, and Schilling, obviously, the MVP. Without a win in the NLCS.
It's going to be a trivia question someday.
He deserved it. I mean,
Christopher Mad Dog Russo is one of the main sports voices on New York radio. And he's going to take us behind the scenes of his sports talk show on WFAN, The Fan. Come on.
Hi, everybody. Christopher Mad Dog Russo on The Fan. Good to have you aboard on this Friday as we get ready for our Friday afternoon radio program. Mike Francesa and I co-host every day 1 to 6 here on Sports Radio 66 in New York. Talk to a plethora of New Yorkers about a million topics. We always have a lot of fun. Show begins at 1. You see our little office here where we always have a little assembly meeting before the show starts. Did you get your picks?
I'm all right. I got Dallas. I didn't finish up yet.
So you're taking the Cowboys, you're taking 3. You know, I like 5 games this week.
I'll take 5.
You think I should? All underdogs, that's the problem.
Goal or 5 will be
How about college?
I'll do the Penn State game. I don't know.
I'm going to do the Florida State.
You do the Tennessee, Alabama.
What's cooking now? On The Fan. Follow us at 1, Talking Sports. All right, guys, a minute and a half before showtime. Mike's following me, so follow me. As we talk some sports, get ready for our show today. The update guy is in here. He's Vince DeLisi. He's doing the scores at the top of the hour. He's off anyway, so interrupt him. What the heck? That's our man, Vince. He just finished. He does the updates every 25 minutes on The Fan. Every 20 minutes. Mike will sit there. You see my little piece of pizza as I'm eating on the run here today. Getting ready for the show. Bobby gives me all the copy, like Bob Gelb, who's the best producer in America. There comes Mikey. Not on time, 1:05.
The open's running, I'm here.
That's right, open runs, there comes Mike. It's a small little studio, nothing too famous. Hey, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Mike and the Mad Dog on The Fan on the 15th day of October, 1993. Good to have you aboard at 718-937-6666. That's your two-way sports talk.
Mad Dog spends just about every waking hour talking sports. This is one guy who knows what it takes to be a champ.
True champion. On the field, inspires his team. Hits the big home run, pitches the big shutout. Off the field, a guy who keeps his nose clean, for lack of a better phrase. Doesn't renegotiate his contract, signs autographs, gives back to the community, and basically a good guy. Jim Abbott's a good champion because Abbott does some nice things. He's got that obviously physical ailment, yet he's done he forgets about that and responds. So Michael Jordan was the quality of a champion because when big games came, he got the job done for his team. He was a leader for his club. He was a spiritual leader. He made things happen. Magic Johnson, same kind of way.
Now let's meet some of the toughest champs ever to kick their way onto the video game screen. If you love to slug, you're gonna love the Eternal Champions. You get to pick from one of the 9 fighters, each skilled in some sort of martial arts mayhem. The characters range from a club-swinging caveman to a futuristic assassin. You play as one of the chosen 9 and must fight your way through a bitter contest. At your disposal is an arsenal of moves and projectile attacks, along with the standard kicks, punches, and throws. All in all, Eternal Champions looks cleaner than Mortal Kombat and moves better than Street Fighter II for the Genesis. So sit back and kick into action. The fight could go on eternally. It's time to get wet and wild. This is the Congo River Rapids. 1.4 million gallons of rushing water. Geysers, waterfalls, and rapids. I can't wait. Let's go. That was fantastic. All right, what a ride.
Don't worry, be hoppy, because now there's a way to get a jump on the competition in Super Nintendo's Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. To begin with 5 lives instead of 3, wait until the title screen appears, and then simultaneously press buttons down, A, B, and start. If the code works, a brief red flash will appear. When your game begins, you'll have 5 lives instead of 3. Once again, to begin with 5 lives instead of 3, wait until the title screen appears, and then simultaneously press buttons down, A, B, and start. If the code works, a brief red flash will appear. When your game begins, you'll have 5 lives instead of 3. Now get hopping. Attention! Soldier on with these killer codes for the final stage of Universal Soldiers for the Genesis. The code for stage 4-1 is CMVDG. The code for stage 4-2 is BYTCM. Who cares if it's space? Go ahead and scream! And then use this trick to activate a cheat mode in Alien 3 for the Super Nintendo that gives you all kinds of special options. Begin a regular game. Then press A, B, Y, and X on controller 2. Next, press one of the following buttons on controller 1 to activate the cheats. Invincibility, button A. Do more damage with weapons, button B. Unlimited weapons, button X. Here it is again. To activate a cheat mode for Alien 3 that gives you all kinds of special options, begin a regular game. Then press A, B, Y, and X on controller 2. Next, press one of the following buttons on controller 1 to activate the cheats. Invincibility, button A. Do more damage with weapons, button B. Unlimited weapons, button X.
Congo River Rapids sure got the best of me. I'm staying right here to dry off for a little while. Where you going? Very funny, guys. Check out this first look. On the one hand, there's reality. On the other hand, there's fantasy. And then there's virtual reality, with the world's first virtual reality movie, The Lawnmower Man. The Lawnmower Man was a spectacular adventure, and so is the new side-scrolling game for Super Nintendo. For Dr. Angelo and his human guinea pig Job, virtual reality has supplanted the real world, and now both are locked in a deadly struggle for the information highway known as cyberspace. You play either Dr. Angelo or Carla, his close friend, in the race to prevent Job from ruling cyberspace. To stop Job, you come equipped with a gun, along with compact discs, homing bombs, and screen-clearing smart bombs. You'll need them all as you fight going through 8 levels, each with its own dangers and pitfalls. The graphics in Lawnmower Man are nicely detailed, and the sound's well done. But be warned, controlling the characters is tricky, so don't expect to walk through cyberspace untouched. Still, this side-scrolling game is the most fun you can have with reality, virtual or not. So buckle up and kick some grass with the Lawnmower Man.
Pure energy.
Coming up on GamePro's Power Up, more insider tips and tactics, the Dino Danger Zone, plus Super Empire Strikes Back and Tiny Toon Adventures when we come back to Busch Gardens, Florida.